Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ellen. I am an interior architecture student. In today's video, I wanted to talk you through some things that I've experienced that I wish I knew before I studied architecture. Before we get through these things, don't forget to like this video and also subscribe. This would really help me out and also the algorithm. So further ado, let's get started. So the first point that I want to talk about is criticism. First year, something I noticed very quickly that some teachers can be very careless in the way they give you feedback. They can be very inconsiderate. If they don't like something, they will tell it to you straight to your face. Sometimes the feedback won't be like very constructive, and by the time you get home, you're like, okay, I spent hours on this model. And they just tell you, oh, it's ugly, but they don't tell you why it's ugly. I also saw some teachers, luckily I haven't experienced this, but I saw some teachers just like rip a model apart when they didn't like placement of a wall or something. They will just like rip your model. And I know that can be like kind of hurtful because you spend like all these hours. You think what you designed looks great, and then just like rip it apart and your heart breaks a little. Beginning, it was definitely very tough for me because I wasn't the best at like receiving criticism without any explanation. It was really hard for me to handle criticism. In school, I studied architecture and my teachers were very nice. They always gave me very constructive criticism. I knew what I had to change and I really liked studying it. But then when I went to university, I realized that they aren't going to help you as easily. It was definitely very tough for me. It was a tough pill to swallow, but it did give me like a thicker skin at the end. Because now when I get like feedback, the teacher isn't the most considerate. I still try to look behind what they're trying to tell me. For example, to do a concrete wall that's so ugly, and I will think like, okay, they didn't like the concrete wall. Why didn't they like the concrete wall? Maybe it doesn't fit with the space that you're designing. Maybe another material would fit righter with your design. Don't take it personal when they tell you that something isn't right in your model, because they only want you to improve. I know it can be like hard to hear it because when you're designing, it's something from you, it's something very personal. You should separate yourself and your design. Your design is a piece of yourself, but at the end you're designing for someone to function it, and it needs to be good for them, not for you. So if the teacher tells you something that isn't right, they're probably right. And if you don't agree, you need to have strong argumentation why you disagree with the teacher, because they will like crave into your skin and they will like keep asking questions. You need to answer all of them to convince the teacher that your design is great. I've definitely grown a lot when it comes to feedback and criticism. Like now I don't take things personally at all. If they tell me I don't like something, I will just reconsider everything, things up very quickly, because everything needs to be quick. Every week we need to improve our designs, so there's no time to waste. Definitely make decisions fast, but also always rethink about the decisions that you make for your designs. The tip: don't take anything personal. Here to help you. You're taking this course to grow as a designer. I know the teachers can be like mean sometimes, maybe they're having a tough day. You are right, like they shouldn't be so mean to you. Just don't take it personal. We're here to grow, to become a better designer. Really try to like think like, oh, they're just giving me feedback to be better at my design, not be mean to me. The second thing that I want to talk about is that it's very expensive. This course, you will need to buy a lot of tools and materials, from pencils to rulers to brushes, paper, glue, computer programs, a lot that goes into. If you haven't already watched my previous video, I gave some advice on what materials I use for school, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. Before starting this course, definitely keep in mind that you will be spending a lot of money. Of course, for computer programs, they do give you some discounts. For example, my school gave us a discount that Autodesk is just for free. You don't need to pay for it. The Adobe Cloud package also costs way less than original pricing, because we also get like a student offer. So don't worry, for some programs you don't need to pay as much, but like for my models, I think some of my models are probably worth €100 if you count all the materials that I've used in my model. The next thing is quite funny, but actually feeling like a camel, because you need to carry a lot of stuff to school. When I first started, I didn't expect that I needed to carry this much every week. There were times where I had to make a model every week, so I had to carry it every week to school, but also the plans for it. And if I had to stay from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. to school, I also had to carry like my pencils, watercolors, all the materials, my tablet or my computer, because I wasn't like drawing the whole day. So definitely keep that in mind, that you will be carrying a lot of stuff to school. I don't live close to my university, so I need to go by bike to the train station, then I take the train on foot to school. So all this time I need to carry all those things. Luckily, I also have a bus, so I don't need to go by bike if I have like a big box with my model in it, but definitely consider that. And then the next point is having many deadlines at once. Trying to follow your theoretical lessons, and suddenly all those deadlines are coming at once, finals are coming, you're like, what is going on? You need to be really prepared for this. Also be really good at planning. When you don't plan everything out, everything will just fall apart, it will be too much and you will have a mental breakdown. I don't want to scare you, it's just like you need to be good at planning. It can be very stressful, definitely when every week you're making your model and the teacher isn't happy about it, and you only have like 6 feedback moments, which isn't a lot for a design. So I know that can be just very stressful, but just don't worry, because 9 out of 10 usually feedback moment will be good if you put in enough effort in it. Because you can also like kind of sense the week before your presentation day if presentation isn't going to go so well, and also your design, you kind of know it. I feel like for a presentation, definitely be prepared, like write a little text for yourself so you know what you're going to say. I personally am not the best at presenting. I know that is something I definitely need to work on. That's why I'm saying this. On time, come a little earlier so you can hang up everything for your presentation, print everything up front, so if there is any default you can fix it on time. The next thing that I want to talk about is having a basic knowledge of physics. In school I did study architecture, but felt like it wasn't enough, because now I feel like 2 out of 6 of our theoretical classes, there's definitely something of physics in it. If you're not the best at physics, I advise you to just take some lessons so you will get better at it. Don't worry, there isn't like a lot of physics in my course, because I follow interior architecture, but if you're studying architecture, definitely recommend you to just follow some classes from physics. It will definitely help you out. The last point that I want to talk about, that you actually don't need to be that good at drawing. Something that I have noticed is that you don't need to be the best drawer to be an architect. We do definitely have classes on how to draw. In the first year they learn you all the basics that you need to know. It grows like every year. You will have like more classes. You'll learn how to draw an object, or you will learn how to draw a perspective. It will give you like different classes on it. I personally can draw because I always like to draw. That's something like one of the things I really like to do. Notice that you don't need to be the best drawer. As you can see, a lot of Things happen on your computer. We use more programs. When you're with a client, you will just use a computer program to show your designs. So you don't need to be the best drawer, only learn how to draw. Also let me know if you want to see like some kind of tutorial, because I would love to help you how to draw. So that was everything for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got like a more insight. This wasn't to be like negative on the course. I just wanted to give you some insights on how it is. There are also many fun things about the course. Definitely don't be demotivated. I just wanted to be real, because I also don't want to romanticize architecture. It's definitely a tough course. You will be spending a lot of hours on your practical classes. The best thing that you can do is just be really good at planning and organizing, and then you will just find a balance on how to see your friends enough and also sleep enough time for school. Just really try to organize it. I know that I'm not the best at it, definitely not alone if sometimes it just all is too much. Like for me as well. It's definitely sometimes too much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye!